डिक्टेशन शुरू होता है अब। द सेंटर्स रिपोर्टेड प्लान टू सेट अप एन asset reconstruction company ARC with equity contribution from the government and the Reserve Bank of India is welcome overview of an ARC and asset construction company's primary goal is to manage and make profitable those assets which have been underperforming or become formally classified as NPAs belonging to those companies who have been unable to generate sufficient timely revenue to service other outstanding obligations. Extraordinary situations call for extraordinary responses. In the US, in the aftermath of the 2008 financial crisis, the Federal Reserve supplied liquidity to banks and restored the flow of credit. The plan designed to give banks the incentive to replace state provided capital with the private capital or to redeem the state capital when conditions permitted worked successfully. An ARC would buy out distressed loans from banks at a discount once a non performing asset is sold off, it would disappear from the balance sheet of the selling bank. This, in turn, would clean up its books and enable the bank to start lending a fresh. True, the bank would take a haircut, but that is vital to bring down the cost of the project. Now taken over by the ARC to a realistic level. Writing off of the promoters equity, converting the bank's debt into equity and bringing the inflated project cost to realistic levels are just the beginning. Transfer to the ARC would extricate stalled projects from their promoters to get them executed. The ARC could rope in professional managers, offering them chunks of equity when they achieve preset milestones. The completed project could be sold and the proceeds used to pay off the ARC's financiers and even kick some more money back to the banks. How should the ARC fund itself? It can issue bonds for the RBI to subscribe. Yes, this would amount to liquidity creation by the RBI on a scale far in excess of the open market operations it undertakes in the normal course. What let us recall the that the basic achievements of the Fed's quantitative easing policy of buying up bonds was to recapitalize the banks, relieved of the bonds they held. The bank's requirement of capital came down by financing the ARC and enabling it to buy distressed bank assets at a discount. The RBI would both recapitalize the banks to some extent and also help implement stalled project. This is the time for bold imagination and action. This in turn would clean up its books and enable the bank to start lending afresh. True, the bank would take a haircut, but that is vital to bring down the cost of the project. Now taken over by the ARC to realistic level. Full stop.